The time is 8:04 p.m. Good evening. The news headline: Hêrdsmêñ killings. Backlash hits Benue, APC. This is certainly not the best of times for the opposition All Progressive Congress, APC. In Benue State, given the spate of high-profile defections that have hit the party in the last few weeks. Privileged information revealed that the party is neck deep in a crisis which may be unconnected with the resentment of members over poor leadership as well as unending herdsmen killings in the state and the fast increasing prices of goods and services which have left Nigerians poorer. In the same vein, the last world congresses of the party, which obviously left sore tastes in the mouths of many stalwarts of the party, contributed in no small measure to a probable implosion that may see the party struggling for relevance in the state. The drum of the gradual slump of the party sounded louder earlier in July when members of the APC and other parties renounced their membership of their respective political parties and pledged allegiance to the senator representing the Benue South District in the Senate, Senator Abba Moro, and the PDP in Opoku local government area. Then came the sudden seamless collapse of the structure of the APC in Agatu local government area into the PDP in what pundits described as a danger signal for APC because these two LGAs, Agatu and Opoku, are regarded as strategic political enclaves in the Benue South District where sizable swing votes are usually churned. In fact, the Agatu APC chairman, Honorable Josiah Isaiah, and members of his ESCO, including the secretary, woman leader, youth leader, treasurer, ex-official members, as well as elders and stalwarts of the party in the area, including former caretaker chairman, Honorable Joseph Ngbedi, Elder Echoda John, and other grassroots leaders, all decamped to the PDP at that ceremony in Obagaji. The decamping APC leaders in Agatu zones A, B, and C in separate speeches lauded the track record of cohesion and internal democracy in PDP being championed by Governor Samuel Ortom, which had helped in bonding members of the party in the state. That event was followed later, some 2 weeks ago, by what has been described by many as the mother of all defections when a former senatorial candidate of APC in Benue Northeast Senatorial District, Mrs. Mimi Azakpe Orubibi, defected to the PDP with over 80,000 of her supporters and followers in Adepo, Kwande local government area. Mrs. Orubibi, who had blamed the failure of the APC-led government to tackle the worsening insecurity in the country and the unending armed herdsmen killing in the state, as well as the failure of the federal government to fulfill its promise to resettle the persons displaced from their ancestral homes by armed herdsmen, are now taking refuge in internally displaced persons IDP camp as reasons for her defection. She also blamed the worsening economic downturn and consequential rising prices of food, goods, and services under the APC-led government for her decision to dump the party with her teaming supporters for the PDP, where she said she would availed her a better platform for political relevance. Mrs. Orubibi's exit from the party was sequel to an earlier statement by leadership of her party in her constituency, which ordered her suspension after her famous speech at the IDP's camp at Abagena in the outskirts of Makurdi. In her speech after donating relief materials to the inmates, the former APC stalwart lamented that the level of poverty, hunger, and spate of killings in the country clearly indicated that the APC had failed Nigerians. She said, in her words, "I am an APC member. I was the APC candidate in Benue Northeast senatorial election in 2019. I polled 84,000 votes, and I am not hiding the fact that I am APC. But the truth be told, we have failed the nation, because when we took over, the exchange rate was about 190 naira and not 503 naira. And how much was a loaf of bread? How much a bag of rice and a liter of fuel? It is a pity. So I chose to visit the displaced people here, because by now they are not supposed to be in the IDP's camp. They ought to have been resettled by the federal government. The outburst by Mrs. Orubibi obviously did not go well with the party supremos, who vicariously ordered her suspension, and PDP immediately cashed in on that atrocious blunder by the party hierarchy to capture one of the prized stalwarts of the APC. A week later, the defection bug also hit Ushongo local government area, where thousands of APC supporters led by Dr. Akoso Angayi, among others, dumped the party for the PDP, citing the unending Hêrdsmêñ killings in the state, the worsening insecurity, and skyrocketing prices of goods and services for their action. The train also burst in Guma local government area in the Benue Northwest senatorial district for a few days, when the APC candidate in 2019 House of Representative election, Engineer Conrad Utan, led over 6,000 of his supporters to the PDP, alleging fraud in the conduct of the last word congresses of the party, which had turned the party to a one-man party. According to him, people spent their hard-earned money to buy nomination forms from the ward congresses, but they were denied participation in the process because names were picked by an individual at his residence. Meantime, while these defections were going on, no fewer than 100 aggrieved members of the party from the states also dragged the national leadership of the party to Federal High Court in Abuja, seeking the dissolution of the 13-member caretaker extraordinary convention planning committee and nullification of all its actions. The court order an originating summons with suit number FHC ABJCS 938/2021, as well as a motion for interlocutionary injunction, was filed on Wednesday, August 18, 2021. And it's as simple as the APC is suffering a very big failure as at now, as people who are legitimately stalwarts of the APC and strong members are defecting to the PDP, claiming that the failure of the APC government is putting a whole lot of people in poverty, and it is shaming their kind of personalities. And it is so sad that APC sacked suspended one of them, who happens to be a Mrs. Orubibi, which is actually a strong member of the party, who put 84,000 votes during our local government elections. And now she has been suspended, and the PDP took turn to quickly attract her and absorb her into their party. And she has said that being an APC member does not mean she would not address sad issues going on in the country. And so the truth is that APC is not playing its card well in Benue State, and there is obviously no silver lining on the dark clouds of APC in the state at the moment. And PDP is on a cruise which might be difficult to halt. Good evening, and thanks for listening.